Ad Council.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
You never think cancer will happen to you. I smoked for over 40 years. My doctor recommended that I get annual lung cancer screening. They were able to catch my cancer at stage 1. It's never too late to quit. Even if you're still smoking, you need to ask your doctor about annual lung cancer screening. Just 30 minutes a year could save your life.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner, or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat, or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hungered in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
There's no better way to spark a child's imagination than to get lost in the adventure of a good book. I'm Jenny Benson, president of NSEA. Working together, parents and teachers can help every child succeed. You can help by reading to your child and let your child read to you. Encourage reading in your home and make it a priority. Make reading fun and a time that you and your child look forward to spending together.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association in this station.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de the Alzheimer's Association y the Ad Council.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Whether it's a lunch you've packed from home or one that's sitting on a cafeteria tray, lunchtime is more than just a meal. It's a chance to grow. Hi, I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Talk to your kids about what they eat, how they treat others, and the little lessons that happen between the bites. Because lunchtime teaches more than just nutrition. It builds character too. Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them?
By their clothes,
their age,
the way they speak. Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids. First, I hold my hands out like they're on a steering wheel. Then I look over my shoulder. Next, I put it in reverse. Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
My early Alzheimer's diagnosis was hard to take, but it gave my mom and me more time to plan together.
Talk to your family about seeing a doctor. Go to alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa,
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Deciding on a college with your high school senior can be a little overwhelming for parents. But applying for money to pay for it is simple. FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, is now easier than ever with fewer questions and faster fill-out times. If you have a high school senior, now is the time to apply for thousands of dollars for classes, books, and housing. Get started, Nebraska, at dothefafsa.org. Sponsored by Education Quest Foundation. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Live from the 93.7 The Ticket studio. From the heart of Lincoln, America, this is What's Next 24 with the authors of Next 24.
All right, welcome in to What's Next 24. Harrison runs on the ones and twos as always come Sunday morning. You guys are welcome to join in. 402-464-5685. This is What's Next 24. We got the host as always, Mike and Sherry in studio, along with a couple of great guests as well. And like I said, you guys are welcome to join in. But with that being said, throw it over to the host.
Good morning, everybody. Harrison, good morning. I like the stocking cap today. It's nice and cool out there today.
Yeah, it's also to hide my bad haircut. So there's that going on.
Looking good. Welcome to What's Next with Mike and Sherry on 93.7 The Ticket FM. Each week, we sit down with you with inspiring guests who share their journeys, stories that motivate, uplift, and offer hope for the future. But we also want a special thanks to our producer, Harrison. He's always been great and keeps the show rolling. Sherry, with that, why don't you introduce our special guest today?
I am so excited about our guest this morning. First of all, I have to say, I'm so excited that the Huskers won last night.
Yeah,
yes,
always.
Way to go,
yeah.
boys. We love you.
You always wake up in the Sunday morning feeling a lot
Yes.
better than a loss.
Anyways, we are so excited today. We have Nico Marasco and Cole Griffin. Nico is the leading name in Omaha. In real estate, he's also known for integrity, passion, and commitment to making every connection personal. As part of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate, say that past 5 times, he's continuing his family's legacy while shaping the future of the industry with fresh energy and purpose. Not only is he involved in real estate, but Nico is a self-made entrepreneur at a very young age. Also, Nico's kind of family to me, and I'm proud of that fact. Nico is married to my son-in-law's cousin, which is a big, huge, happy family. Anyways, we're going to dive into Nico's journey, his leadership, philosophy, and the mindset that drives his success right here on Next 24 in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah, let's kick it off. Nico, good morning. How are you, sir?
Good. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Really glad you be able to make the drive. Love the shirts. Love to see what we got going on today.
Clearly, Cole picked it out for me.
Very, very cool.
Yes, and this has been a long time coming, I must say, because at every family event, it's like, Nico, we got to get Nico. We got to get you on the show.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, we had my wife and I just had our first baby 5 months ago. So you asked me, I was like, I'm totally in, but you've got to give me a couple months to get settled and acclimated because I have no idea how my life's going to change.
And it did, didn't it?
It did. It's been amazing. I've loved it.
We've worked around Brittany, and we've worked around this brand new, beautiful, gorgeous baby girl.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but no, thanks you guys for having me down. I love the studio. This is awesome.
Yeah, isn't this nice? This is always down. This has been down here. This is a great place to be down here at 93.7 The Ticket. Nico, let's just jump in. We've been excited to have you on the show, but we'd like to just always step back a little bit, talk about you in the beginnings. Tell us about where you're from and where you grew up and what life was like in the early years for you.
So born and raised Omaha, Nebraska. I graduated Mount Michael High School out in Elkhorn in 2012. From there, I went on to St. John's University in Collegeville, Minnesota. It's a small town about 45 minutes northwest of the Twin Cities. Graduated with a degree in global business leadership was the actual title, but I just tell everybody it's just a very fancy term for business. It's nothing groundbreaking or earth-shattering. And then I was back in Omaha 48 hours later. So those of you who do not know me, my father actually was in real estate for over 35 years. He was arguably a legend in Omaha real estate, really, truly a innovative, groundbreaking. He was the first person, I believe, to ever have a computer. He was one of the first people in real estate to ever have an assistant, and just simple things that we have today that he was, very innovative with. And so I've always been drawn to real estate. I tell people, they ask me, how long have you been doing it for? And I go, well, technically full time, almost 10 years, because 48 hours after they handed me my degree, I came back here and started working with him full time.
And that got you going.
Yeah.
But can I just, I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah,
for
go
just
ahead.
2 seconds. I just want to say that anybody who knew or knew of your father, not only was he innovative, not only was he just an amazing name in Omaha with real estate, but he had such an incredible personality.
Yeah.
He was bigger than life, but he didn't have a big head about it. And everybody absolutely that knew of Ralph loved him.
We
And
were
to
just
this
talking
day,
about that
loved him.
outside your studio when we got down here. I was talking to Cole because I was talking just some one-liners. We called them Ralphisms. He would say some of them you can say on air. Some of them you can definitely not say on air.
Yeah.
But I just tell Cole, I go, he was the funniest guy you would have ever met, and he would make you laugh, make you cry, and just make you feel loved within 45 seconds.
Well, Nico, talk about your dad a little further. What's his early background, early years?
Oh my God, it's a great story. It is. So my father is one of 7. He had 6 sisters growing up, and so he was a rowdy household. His father, they're generational, generational salesman. So his father was in the car business for his entire life, essentially. He sold Pontiacs, and then he ran Stan Olsen Pontiac for a while. This is the GM.
My.
Yeah, and bounced around a lot of car dealerships. Ended up at Huber Chevrolet. That's where he ended his career at as their finance manager. And then my great uncle Donnie, which was my father's brother, was also in the car business and followed him around and ended up at Huber Cadillac. So there's a lot of sales in the blood of the family. My father grew up. He went to prep, was class president. Homecoming king. Things that it makes sense. It tracks. Went on to Creighton University, and actually his dad wanted him to become a doctor really, really badly. Wanted him to become a doctor. My dad was very smart, like book smart. He's a very, very smart man, and he was very studious and extremely disciplined. Did not get 100% of that genetics, but it's okay. And he just did not love it. He could not fall in love with it. So he ended up working for a wine distribution company, like a liquor sales rep. So you drive around, and he was a liquor sales rep. And he crushed it. He did really, really great. He always, that's one of the first sales techniques he taught me is what he learned in the liquor business. He goes, after you make your sales pitch, you don't blink, you don't fart, you don't burp, you don't breathe. You just sit there and you are silent till the other person says something. Because I don't care if it's 5, 10, 15 minutes. Wow. And it's something, today you read those in books and stuff, but that's something I always preach to these guys too, and it's hard to do. But he did that for a few years, and he ended up meeting somebody named Brad Brown. Brad Brown's mother, BJ Brown, who actually just passed away a few weeks ago, was a absolute legend and a pioneer in the Omaha real estate market. She was one of the first. Her and Carol K. Lisi, who's actually the mother of my essentially boss at Berkshire Hathaway, Vince Lisi. Those two were the pioneering women in Omaha real estate, and they had just 2 powerhouse brokerages back in the 70s and the 80s. Obviously, Carol's today has turned in, Vince has taken that and grown it to what it is today. We all know that. But anyway, so my father met Brad Brown, and they ended up becoming friends and roommates. And Brad introduced, my dad to his mom, BJ, and BJ's like, I think you would be really good in real estate. And my dad's like, I don't know. I have a really, really top liquor rep or local liquor warehouse here. He's making, back then he's making good money. He had benefits. He's like, I don't know if I can make that switch. And she goes, well, I'll tell you what, why don't you just get your license? Then you do it part-time and see if you like it. And okay, yeah, I can do that. Because there was a lot of downtime in his current job. And so he went and got his real estate license and he started doing it part-time. And he was doing really well at it. Well, his boss at the liquor distribution warehouse he worked at didn't like his employees having part-time jobs for some reason. I don't know why, but that was just kind of a big thing. He didn't like it. And so my dad was doing so well in real estate. BJ was trying to convince him, like, you need to do this full time. This is what you're meant to do. And he struggled with, I don't know if I can leave my benefits. I get I get a little bit of base salary, but I get great commission, yada, yada, yada. And so what BJ did was that year put him in the paper as Rookie of the Year for BJ Brown and Associates.
That was BJ Brown was big back then.
Big time back then. And so when she did that, his boss at the liquor warehouse, they saw it and obviously wasn't too pleased with it. And then some words were said and they parted ways, and my dad quit and started real estate full time. And it's either 85 or 86, I can't remember. And then the rest is history. He just took it, and he was a kid who grew up in South Omaha, and he built up an empire, lost it all, and then built it all back up again.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your dad certainly left a legacy and was a big influence on you.
Yeah.
But was real estate what you wanted to do early on?
I always had a passion for real estate. I mean, I grew up and I lived it and I breathed it. And to me, real estate, and to this day, I'll still say this, it doesn't feel like a job. Every morning when I wake up, I'm not like I'm going to work, or on Sundays, like, I gotta go to work on Monday. Well, because we work 7 days a week, so we really don't get that anyway. But to me, it always just felt like this is a way of, like, it's just life. It's normal. Like going to the gas station, putting gas in your car, just a normal daily routine, daily part of life. That's what it feels like for real estate. I had a few other jobs before real estate briefly. I did kind of like family planning, life insurance, logistics managed a credit union. I looked at all different sorts of industries, had different internships and different jobs throughout college. And every time I would come home, I would think, what would my day have been like if I was selling real estate? And it always pulled me in. So that's why I was like, this is what I was meant to
Well,
do.
Nico, let me ask you some questions today. Getting into real estate today, it is not an easy field to survive in. I mean, so
brutal.
As an individual, I'm curious to hear, as you do it, what has made you think what talents need to be successful? What does it take to be successful in real estate today?
It's nothing sexy, it's not. It really isn't.
But
minus sex appeal. Clearly,
but people think it is. People think you got to grind.
My
and
daughters
That's
are in it.
it. Yeah,
My daughters are in
know,
it. Yes, and it is. And you guys, I'm telling you,
it's brutal.
It is brutal.
It can be brutal for sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
so,
you
I wanted to get to your point though.
Yeah.
What is it that you find that you have to do? What must you do though to be successful?
I guess you boil it down, it is truly simple. I always joke that I'm not the prettiest realtor, I'm not the smartest realtor, I'm not the fastest realtor, and I'm not the skinniest realtor, but I guarantee you I will outwork any other realtor. And that's all it really takes. All you really need to do is you just need to be an honest individual. You need to be ethical. You need to tell the truth. And I think one thing people struggle with today, because in today's day and age, the way we have with cell phones and technology and AI and all that, we can get answers immediately. And I think as newer agents start out, if they're asked a question they don't know the answer to, instead of saying, you know what, that's a really good question. I think I know what it is, but let me find out exactly and get back to you. They think somehow that demoralizes them or makes them not seem as professional, when I think in fact it's the opposite.
Absolutely.
And so I think that is, not being afraid to ask questions, but truly it is, all you need to do is be a good person, wake up, answer your phone, get back to people on time, and just work hard and be disciplined.
Well, I see that you have a business motto. What is that motto?
What, this one on my shirt?
Yes.
The one in your shirt?
It's actually from my pops. He back in probably the 90s had a few billboards around town that said, if this was your house, I would have sold it by now. And so our old t-shirts used to have don't fight it, just write it. He'd always say that. Don't fight it, just write it. Come on now. He wasn't Southern, by the way, but every time he said that, always had a little Southern twang. So we had that on a shirt for a while. And then I was like, we need to come up with a new shirt slogan. So we just put this on a shirt.
And I often hear it's not business, it's personal.
That's correct. We say that in all of our client meetings with people.
Cole, let you jump in here though. What's really interesting though, Nico, is is many realtors that I know just do it all by themselves. Try to do it all by themselves. But you've got a pretty good team. You've got
That's
an individual sitting right to your right there.
And I meant to introduce Cole early on. I apologize, Cole. Sorry.
No, let's go ahead and introduce him.
So you bring up a good point, and I do think it is important to make this clarification. So my father was an individual agent for years. And so when he passed away, I had a kind of it was a crossroads. Like, okay, do I? Because there's just Ralph Marasco. That was, it was no team name, no business name. It was just him. It's Ralph.
Right.
And then some people, it's like Cher. You just say Ralph. People know who you're talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like Cher.
But so I was like, do I call it? Do I just go under my name? Do I start a group name, a team name? And I decided to go with the Ralph Marasco Real Estate Group to pay homage to him, because really, at the end of the day, this is something that he created, and I believe to be a steward of it. And I'm getting to your point here in a second. But I always say we have the word group in our name, but it's important to remember we're not a traditional real estate team. I always tell my clients, when you hire me, you get me whether you like it or not. But I have a group of people that work with me, that assist me. And that's why, it's not a traditional real estate team, but it is a team, because without Cole and then my other assistant who's not here, Peyton, it makes my job really difficult to do. And Cole has been with me now for almost 3 years. Originally, I brought Cole on to be my in-house marketing director. I was at a seminar, a small group rethink seminar in California. And one of the takeaways from that is like, what's one thing you want to do to change your business? I go, I'm done outsourcing my social media. I'm done trying to do all my social media. I need to bring somebody in who's passionate about this and who knows what they're doing. So that's actually how I met Cole. And he started February of 23. And I think by April of 23, his job title changed about 4 times. So now when I refer to Cole, I go, Cole is just essentially my right-hand man. He's like I don't like the word assistant, but he's like my life guide. He helps me through life. He helps me with everything that I do. And so he's actually, he makes my life so much easier. And without Cole, I probably wouldn't even be sitting here today, to be honest with you.
Well, and it's Cole, what Nico does and what you help him with. This is a 24/7, 7-day-a-week job. It is not. With my daughters, I found that it doesn't matter if you're on vacation. It doesn't matter if it's a holiday. It doesn't matter if your child is graduating from high school. You're constantly doing this, going to the bathroom to take phone calls. Yeah. Tell us how you juggle this for him.
Like a good example of that is in the summer, I was on a bachelorette trip with some friends. And I was on the back of a boat, and we were having some issues with one of our listings, like going live on Zillow and stuff like that. And I was on the back of a boat, FaceTiming his other assistant, Peyton, just like someone was tubing behind us. And I was sitting there, like lifting up my sunglasses, like trying to get everything work. Yeah, because it's what we do for our clients. That's kind of how Nico, before this, my background is marketing. I didn't know too much about real estate, and he's just been a really great mentor.
Also, side note, I must say, Cole's very... he won't be the one to admit it. Cole's last 2 jobs were working for startups in China and Germany.
Yeah,
and then he landed here in Omaha working for a realtor in the Midwest somehow.
I wanted to say before we're going to take a break here soon, Cole, tell us a little bit about your background. I was real impressed. You and I have been talking on the phone a little bit, and you've been all over the world.
I have, yeah.
Share this story.
So I went to University of Illinois. Sorry to the Husker fans, but
no, that's right. And that's all the time we have today, folks. So thank you for turning in to 93.7 The Tick.
Yeah. So I graduated. I studied marketing. I studied creative writing. I knew I always wanted to do marketing. It's something I've always had a passion for. And just a year after graduation, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. So I thought, what's the biggest challenge I could do? And I was deciding between Russia or China. I knew either one would be really scary. So I ended up going to China. I was just planning to do 1 year, like a gap year. Was there for 4 years during COVID, and then I was with another startup company, and they needed someone in Europe, so I went to Germany. I was there for 2 years, and then my twin brother, who lives in Lincoln, they were planning to have a child, and so I wanted to move back to the States before, so I didn't miss it. And then I interviewed with Nico like 4 days after living in here, after being gone for 6 years, and this is what I do now.
Wow.
No, it's been excellent what you do. Harrison, do we need to take a break?
Yeah, we can take it now, or we can take it in like a couple.
Let's go ahead and take a break, because I want to jump back in and talk about the current market today and what your insights are on the market and the challenges for people today and how they can get a hold of you. Yeah. So we'll be right back with Nico in just a minute.
And we want to talk a little bit about what you've diversified into.
Yeah, absolutely. Love it.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 1221 N Street, Lincoln.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Dana Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Dana Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Dana Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Whether it's a lunch you've packed from home or one that's sitting on a cafeteria tray, lunchtime is more than just a meal. It's a chance to grow. Hi, I'm Tim Royers, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. Talk to your kids about what they eat, how they treat others, and the little lessons that happen between the bites. Because lunchtime teaches more than just nutrition. It builds character too. Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People's City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
When it comes to keeping your equipment running, you've got options at Landmark Implement. Whether you need premium John Deere parts or a more economical solution, A&I parts from Landmark deliver the dependable performance you can count on with cost savings up to 40%. From filters and bearings to belts and everyday repairs, A&I parts are built to work as hard as you do while helping stretch your budget further. Stop by your local Landmark Implement parts counter today or shop online anytime at shop.deere.com and experience the Landmark difference.
Don't be fooled by the typical holiday ads this year. A new car for your significant other is a dream, but not a likely reality. Why not upgrade the current car you have with a detail? This year's hot item is a gift certificate from Nebraska Auto Detail to make your car look and smell fully refreshed again. We all have clutter and we all make messes, but it doesn't have to stay like that. Give the gift of a clean car this holiday. Buy your certificate at NebraskaAutoDetail.com or call 402-601-5086 for an appointment today.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
Back to What's Next 24 from the 93.7 The Ticket studio with the authors of Next 24.
All right, welcome back. Segment number 2, What's Next 24. We got a full studio here at 1040 O Street, 93.7 The Ticket. You guys are welcome to join in. And with that being said, we'll throw it back over to the host.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody. We're with Nico and Cole from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Ambassador Real Estate out of Omaha. I'm so fascinated by the real estate and getting to talk to you about this. And as we were talking on break, I just wanted to throw out some common misconceptions or what people think these days. For example, rent versus buying.
Yes.
What's the better route to go?
Well, that depends on everybody's financial situation, where they're at in life. I mean, if you have the ability to afford to buy a home, I mean, I would say, I'm in the business of selling homes. I'm not in the business of renting homes, but I do believe it is a good key on your pathway to building some wealth and generational wealth is owning real estate. But if you are struggling to make your rent payment every month, by no means should you go buy a home, because the last thing you want to do is become house poor. And that's something that, especially when we're talking with first-time home buyers, I no matter if it's a first time, second time, third, fourth investment, we always have a buyer consultation. And I really want to stress that to them. When we start breaking down what their monthly budget is, what they spend on their car, their coffee, their Uber Eats, whatever it is, say, okay, now you have this mortgage payment. By the time the dust settles, and you've paid everybody, and you have about $175 left your paycheck, your furnace goes out. What do you do then?
Cole, real quick, I see Harrison's got the website up. You do a great job in the marketing piece on that. Tell us a little about in terms of the marketing. How do you see that marketing helps drive your business?
Oh, well, I think for sure, having Nico is the biggest piece to our marketing. Majority, we do a great job for our clients, and they refer us to other people, their friends. And that's because of the work that he does for us. So I would say with our marketing, the best thing that Nico does is, once he meets you in person, everyone has questions about real estate, especially if it's your first time, or maybe it's your first time listing your home. So he does a great job. It's all he's ever known. He can answer any question you have. And, with our marketing, it's the first place you could go is our website, I think.
Well, you guys seem to make it a lot of fun. This is what I'm watching right now. Even in studio where I've worked with realtors in the past, it doesn't seem like fun. It's transactional. You guys make it fun. Nico, tell us a little bit. You do make it fun, but I also want to understand, how do you make it fun for the client? Clients come in with the misconception at first, maybe like we were talking. Prices are skyrocketing. Interest rates are going up. I don't know if I can afford it. Rent versus buying. How do you
Well,
approach
first thing I always tell, is if I'm not having any fun, what's the point? And if I'm not having any fun, there's probably nobody around me having any fun. But I always, no matter what the client's budget is, I always remind them at the end of the day, you are spending a lot of money. And in most cases, this is the biggest single purchase or investment you've made in your life. You should have a smile on your face while you're doing it.
Absolutely.
And so, making it fun, it's just being a real person with these people. I know that sounds so silly, but you get these, sometimes you get in these situations with realtors and they're with their clients and they become a robot and they only talk about the home and specifics, where you have a conversation with your client. You get to know your client. There's something that in my listing presentation we talked about a little bit earlier. It's not business, it's personal. At the end of the day, real estate, regardless if you're buying a home, a building, a piece of land, is an investment. But when it is a place that is your home, it's an extremely emotional investment. It's a place where you raise your children. It's a place where you gather with your friends and family. It's a place where you build your life with your newly loved one. I mean, it's a place where you make so many memories. And that is something that we always remember. And that's something that I truly appreciate and take to heart. And that's something that we always consider when we're working with our clients. Like, they're not just another number. This is when somebody invites you into their home, that's a very personal, intimate moment. And that's, it's we are honored to be in their home. And like, thank you for bringing us into your safe space.
Nico, tell us, for the first-time home buyers today, what's realistic advice would you offer them that's affordable and timely?
Affordable and timely. I think for a first-time home buyer, what you need to do is you need to get a good understanding of where every dollar you spend every month goes, because we live in a day and age of auto renewals and subscriptions, and all you have to do is double click your phone and you buy a subscription, you forget about it. I think you need to know where every dollar is going, and then you need to meet with a lender. And it doesn't necessarily need to be where you bank. I mean, there's a lot of mortgage lenders out there that will actually kind of almost borderline be financial advisors. And you need to understand, okay, I have this much money. How much money should I have in reserves? And what's it going to look like from a dollar standpoint for me to transition from renting to homeowning? And then what does that timeline look like? Because there's nothing worse than being house poor. And that's something that I preach to all of our first time home buyers is like, I don't want you to be house poor. I'd rather you extend your lease for a year or 2 years and keep saving. And maybe you take a look around, like, what is some easy debt for us to reduce or consolidate, and then become a homeowner.
Nico, if you don't mind, I'd like to pivot a little bit. Time looking at this. Not only are you a realtor and an entrepreneur, and you diversify.
I do, yeah.
Let us pivot.
All right, let's
in your free time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
In your spare time, tell us about this mattress business.
Yeah, Snooze Mattress,
it's called
baby.
Snooze Mattress.
Absolutely. If you ain't snoozing, you're losing. Is that right? Something like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Give us the background on this.
Okay, so April, the year's 2023. One of my really good friends and mentors and business partners, John Waniger, who I've literally known my entire life. He was really good friends with my dad. So I've grown up with John. I've known John for, like I said, I'm 31. I've known John for 31 years.
Uncle Johnny.
We share a lot of the same passions, same hobbies. We've done some business and investment deals together in the past. He comes to my office. I'll never forget this. I'm in my conference room working on some filing or some paperwork. I can't even remember that. And he goes, I have an idea. And if anybody knows John Waniger, knows he is a serial entrepreneur. I think he's had over 75 businesses in his lifetime. And I think I might be short on that. And so I was intrigued, always excited. Because like, what did you come up with today? And he goes, I think we should open up a mattress store. And completely out of left. I never would have guessed. I go, what? He's a big Grant Cardone follower, 10X guy. And Grant Cardone did a series a few years ago called Undercover Billionaire.
Yep.
And he was dropped in Pueblo, Colorado. And when he got dropped in Pueblo, Colorado, he met a guy named Matt Smith. And Matt Smith was just starting this mattress company called Snooze Mattress. Long story short, a few years later, they started franchising them. And John got an ad on Facebook. And we're like, okay, let's take a look at it. So we had one Zoom call with the team. About 4 days later, we're on a plane. We end up flying to Colorado, drive to Pueblo from Denver, meet with the team for about 3 days, and go, yeah, you guys seem pretty fun. This seems cool. I like who you are. I like what you're about. I like what the company's about. Let's do it. I have zero retail experience. John has some retail experience. We both have zero furniture and mattress store industry experience, but it's a brand. I love the company. I loved what they stood for. I loved where their goals were. I loved where they were going. I loved the leadership there. So I'm like, this seems like a phenomenal opportunity. So here we are.
Where are you located?
Right now, we have 3 locations in the Omaha metro area. We just opened our 3rd location, which is on 170th and Maple. We have another location located in Legacy, which is about 168th and Center.
Yeah.
And then our 3rd location is located in Rockbrook Shopping Center, down off like 109th and Center.
Oh my!
Yeah.
When did you open Rockbrook?
Rockbrook, we opened March, April. We had our grand opening in April, right?
Wow.
So really, I mean, we had the Legacy store for actually it's 2 years this month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Wow.
everybody. We made it. And then we opened Rockbrook, like I said, April of this year. And then we opened our Maple Street location. We had the grand opening July of this year.
Very good. Cole, let me have you jump in. Tell us what customer experience might be like when somebody walks into the Snooze mattress.
Just to tie it in with real estate, I would say because of Nico's experience in real estate and what he offers his clients, he honestly wanted that same experience for people who shop at Snooze. So it is a white glove experience. I mean, I think that's the difference with Snooze and other mattress stores is, from the moment you walk in, they're also going to set up your bed and take away your old one. So it's always making sure we have everything for the clients. And, you just have to try it yourself. Snooze is different.
You've got 3 locations in Omaha. Now here's the $64,000 question: when you open up in
Lincoln's going to want to know.
Come
when
on,
you're coming to
these
town.
people are listening.
We've looked around. We drove Lincoln. It was almost about a year ago looking at retail space. That by far is the hardest part so far of this business, is finding the right location, because you can do all the marketing in the world, but if you're not in the right location for something like that industry, you struggle a little bit. But no, I would love to. We're coming to Lincoln eventually. I don't know when. I can't give you a date for sure, but we're knocking on the door. And then we also have Des Moines in our sites as well too over the next couple of years as a growth plan. So
good.
So now has this diversification bug bit you a little bit now? Are we? What's kind of the goal, the vision? What's maybe the next 5-year plan? Do you have an idea?
Keeping everything. No, I'm kidding.
Keep it quiet.
No, we also too, I do a lot of new construction business as well. I think that's one thing that makes us a little bit different is you have a lot of real estate agents that do really only existing residential or just solely do new construction. We do about a 60, 40, 70, 30 split existing to new construction. And that's a big part of my business. And I really am passionate about new construction. I've worked with the same builder for almost 10 years. I mean, my dad worked with his dad. My dad worked with him. Now I'm working with him.
Wow. Well, let me ask you, who is that builder?
Yeah, that is,
please.
His name is Matt Caniglia. His company is Silverthorne Custom Homes. And you talk about, again, one thing that I am truly blessed is I have phenomenal business partners that I love and I trust. And the same goes for John and the same goes for Matt. And those two men, I put all my faith and trust in. They put all their faith and trust in me. And there's such a love there that I think that is crucial to any business relationship. Mm-hmm. And so I've, like I said, I've known Matt for decades. And we've started, we've always done new construction. We buy lots in neighborhoods and build homes. Actually, the same time we opened our first mattress store, we closed on our first piece of raw ground to do a development together with another builder. So we're doing, it's called Indian Creek Preserve. That's our first ground up development we're doing. And then about a month ago, we closed on our second piece of ground to do our second development. So it's definitely, it's staying within the lanes of real estate, but it's branching out to different sectors of it. And that's been really exciting. I've really enjoyed that side of the business and that aspect.
Sure. You got me curious. What are the homes looking like out in this area?
Indian Creek Preserve is it's a little emotional one for me. So those of you who aren't familiar, in Elkhorn, Nebraska, there's a golf course called Indian Creek. They play the Corn Ferry Tournament there. It is arguably one of the nicest public courses in the country. I'm surprised it's actually not a private country club by now, just because of the quality of the course and the play out there. And that was a little bit ahead of its time. It was in Elkhorn in the 90s, and the neighborhood was comprised of 3 essentially areas of the subdivision. They had the regular homes area, they had a villa community, and then on the back of the development, they had an estate sector. And those estate lots were an acre to an acre and a half, and they're bigger homes. Well, there was always a 40-some acres of ground that was supposed to be the second phase of the estate area, but they had to wait to develop it until the road moved. Well, I mean, here we are. I mean, they opened that neighborhood in the early 90s. And so here we are now in 2025, and they never did. And that's something, it's actually a piece of ground my dad always wanted to do. And I have a file on it where he worked off and on it for years. And we were able to, we worked on it pretty hard for about 5-6 years and get it under contract and get it going. And we been moving dirt and ground and put streets in, and we actually just got power and sewer and water all done, so it's now officially buildable. The first couple houses are going to be going up in there pretty soon. So
something that
really
you said
exciting.
I think is very, very important for like new people that want to get into real estate. I think is the power of networking.
It's
the
huge.
power of building relationships up with people.
Absolutely.
And people that you can trust. Can you share some stories?
I think, if you're looking, anybody that comes to me today and says, Nico, I want to get my real estate license. First thing, are you sure you want to get your real estate license? Because whatever you see on TV, I hate to break it to you, it's not like that at all. But I get asked a lot is, what's the best path forward as a new agent or somebody just starting out in the business? And the best piece of advice I could give somebody is go find a small team, maybe a husband-wife team, a small group, and become an administrative assistant for them for a couple of years, maybe 1, 2, 3 years, and just absorb. See how they speak to their clients, see how they handle objections, see how the paperwork's done, see how they have what their systems and processes are, and then slowly transition into going out and selling on your own full time. There's a running joke about my dad is he had a lot of assistants. Some left voluntarily, some didn't leave voluntarily, but he had a lot of assistants. And it's amazing to see today of how many of his former assistants are very successful in the industry. Now they're beautiful people and they're smart people and they're intelligent, but to this day, a lot of them give credit, like what I learned from him, these techniques, these processes has really helped me in my career. And I think that's the best way forward for somebody new in the business.
On that note, we got to take another break, but I want to get into Nico, the family man, after we get back. So we'll be right back in just a minute.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches, too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Krikak of State Farm Insurance.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Back to What's Next 24 from the 93.7 The Ticket studio with the authors of Next 24.
All right, welcome back in. Now it's on the time left here, so you can join in 402-464-5685 if you got any last-second questions, but we'll throw it back to the host, Mike and Cherry.
Everyone, we're having a great show today with Nico Marasco and Cole Griffin. We're from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, talking about real estate, what it's like to be a realtor, the entrepreneur spirit, the diversification, and what it takes to be successful. Sherry, I'm going to turn it over to you. I think you got a few questions you'd like to ask.
We're, as we always say, we just don't have enough time for everything we want to get in. But, Nico, and I've experienced this with you a little bit. Yeah. Omaha has such an incredible culture of giving back. How do you both engage in the charitable and the community efforts of giving back?
I think it's extremely crucial. I think you are blessed with certain gifts and talents from the Lord, and I think you need to use those to not only, survive and thrive for your family, but also to give back and help those who are not as fortunate as you. I'm a big proponent of donating, not just, money. Anybody can write a check,
right?
But it's the time aspect. So a foundation that is extremely close and personal for me is Make-A-Wish. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of Make-A-Wish. I'm actually, I was very honored about a year and a half ago. They asked me to be a part of their board, which was a huge honor. So I'm on the Make-A-Wish board, and that's something that I like to give a lot of my time and energy and focus to.
You just took my breath away, and I didn't think having you on the show I'd have to fight back tears, but my daughter Hannah and Make-A-Wish was so instrumental for us. I had no clue that you were on the board.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't thank you enough, because that is such a near and dear to my heart organization. I also know that, fundraisers and things, childhood cancer seems to be something where, like you said, your time and stuff. But, I have been at things that my daughters have put on where, there's a big basket from Snooze or whatever. Of course, I was trying to win it, and I never have yet, but someday. But this kind of takes back to the big question for me is, because of Ralph, how does family and legacy influence your approach, not just to giving, but leadership roles today? How does this affect you? How does this bring you back around to everything that is involved in your real estate business? I'm emotional now. Your real estate business, your retail business, but especially
and don't forget, Sherry, he's a father.
And that's what I'm saying to your family. Nico has the most beautiful wife. He has the most beautiful baby girl you've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
How does this all circle back? Because all this stuff you're involved in, When do you even get to sleep, let alone be a family man?
You find the time. You get 24 hours in the day, cut about 6-ish out for sleep. You got plenty of time to get it all done and accomplished. But to answer your question, I think it is, at the end of the day, it becomes back to the single sum of who you are as an individual. And I think it's all these components that comprise you to be a good leader, to be an honest man, to be an ethical man, to be a man of faith, and to have that kindness and that passion. And I think, a word that we don't use today, and a word that's forgotten, and it's truly heartbreaking, is compassion. We do not have a lot of compassion for people anymore, and as a society. And I think by having that compassion and be able to relate to somebody and being able to put yourself in somebody's shoes makes you a better person. I hate to say a better person, but makes you a more understanding person and a more knowledgeable person and a more understanding and patient person.
Cole, we've only got a few minutes left. I want to make sure.
Yeah.
How can we get a hold of you? How can people get a hold of you?
Nico's phone number is really easy. It's 402.
No, we're giving out phone numbers.
677-7777.
Call today.
No, we have a website. Yeah, marascoshealthhomes.com. We find him on Instagram, Facebook.
And you do a lot of social media.
Yeah,
you do.
a few
I see
things.
some videos and some other things that you do that are funny. They're humorous. You also do going through the homes and so forth. Tell us what it's like to be a father.
It's
I want
the
to
most
make sure
amazing thing in the entire world. I've never experienced anything like it. You have this. I'm gonna get emotional now.
That's okay.
You have this amazing tiny human that they look at you with such love and affection, and when you come home from a long day and you see that tiny human just look up at you and those feet start kicking, and she's giggling and smiling, and it's the most beautiful, rewarding thing. And for me, not only that, but it's just so exciting because I just got on the roller coaster and I have a long ride to go, and it just every day watching them grow and develop, and I speechless. It's
a love that you never thought you could, you had. You love your mom, you love your dad, you love your siblings, you love your wife, but it is such a different type of love.
Sure. Harrison gave me the 2-minute signal.
2 minutes.
So,
You got 2 minutes.
Nico, we didn't tell you this, but this is where we turn the mic over to you.
Oh boy.
You get to say anything you'd like to the community, Lincoln, Omaha. What would you like to say from the heart? What would you like to say?
Omaha, Lincoln, thanks for tuning in to 93.7 The
I
Tick.
knew we
No,
were going to
kidding.
do that. There you go.
Give some advice.
No, I think as we enter, these colder months, as we enter the holiday seasons, I don't think it's a secret that, at this point in time, there's a lot of people out there that are struggling, whether it be financially, whether it be emotionally, whether it be with their faith. It's a time of year to remember you need to have grace and you need to have patience, and for the love of God, you need to have compassion, people. You turn on the TV and all you see is despair and anger and unrest, and we're all humans at the end of the day, and we need to love our neighbor and be there for our neighbor. And this is a time of year too that people who have lost loved ones, it becomes a very emotional time of year for them. And it's a time of year where you need to just reach out, touch your neighbor, check in, see how they're doing, and just be a good human.
Well said. With that, we'll stop there. We'll see you next week. Thank you again. Nico, thank you.
Thank you, guys. This was awesome.
Good job.
Blast.
We'll see you next week. Thank you.